We're going to talk about isotopes today. The number of protons for a given atom, neutral atom, never changes. The protons always stay the same, no matter what type of ion we are talking about. But in an isotope, the number of neutrons will change. It's an atom or an element that has several atoms, types of atoms, that have different number of neutrons. And two atoms of the same element with different numbers of neutrons are called isotopes. Isotopes have the same atomic number. That does not change. The number of protons does not change. Isotopes have different atomic mass numbers. The number of protons doesn't change, but the number of neutrons will change. So that changes the mass. So here's an example of some isotopes. Carbon has some isotopes, and we call them carbon 12, carbon 13, carbon 14. And if you notice in parentheses after each one, carbon has 6 protons and 6 neutrons in its neutral atom. But in some cases, there's an extra neutron, and we have carbon 13 with 6 protons and 7 neutrons. And in some cases, there are 2 extra neutrons that has carbon 14, 6 protons, and 8 neutrons in the nucleus. That changes the mass each time. All carbon elements, all their atoms have 6 protons, but they have different number of neutrons. So here are some isotopes of hydrogen. And in this case, they actually gave the different isotopes different names. It doesn't usually happen. But with hydrogen, they decided differently. So in this case, in the top right, or top left, I'm sorry, there's 1 proton. No neutrons. The bottom left, we have 1 proton and 1 neutron. And then the top right, we have 1 proton and 2 neutrons. All the atoms have an atomic number of 1. They all have 1 proton. But the mass has changed because there's a different number of neutrons in the nucleus.